What's the most rebellious thing you did growing up? Have you ever been disappointed in me? Do you remember when I was conceived? Does it hurt your first time?
Oh!
Cheers, biggies.
No. We've been in this Airbnb for over a week now and I would love to vacuum. And I got excited because I saw this in the laundry cupboard. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to vacuum, but it's flat. I think I'm just gonna have to sleep. I don't know how my hair just gets everywhere. How does my hair go under the couch? I don't understand. I feel like my hair doesn't even shed that much, but I'm like, why is my hair literally everywhere? She wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts. Only you'll take me somewhere we can be alone. Baby, just say it. I've been sat on the floor for about 30 minutes trying to sing and like trying to make a reel. I'm gonna do my nails. If you didn't see my last video, I have a collection with Impress press-on manicure. So I have 6 sets of nails there in CVS and Walgreens. So many of you guys have gone in person and like tagged me in stories of you seeing it in person, which is so crazy, and I'm so excited to go back and go into a store and see it in person. These were the ones that I put on last week. All of these ones are doing really good. I just feel like my thumbs are ready to come off, so I'm gonna peel them off and do a new set. I'm either gonna do the Sarah set or 1218. I might do this one. It's such a pretty soft pink. I'm also going to my parents. Gabe is at a singing lesson right now, but when he gets back, we're gonna go to my parents, and I have some questions that I'm gonna ask my mum. I did a video last year asking Gabe questions that girls were too afraid to ask guys. I loved it, and I thought it would be really fun to do it on my mum. On my text app, I sent out like a mass message this morning asking if you guys had any questions that you're like too afraid to ask your mum, and I got such good answers, so I've screenshotted some. I feel like she's not really on my channel very often, and she's a cutie, so it'll be fun. I think I'm also gonna do her nails as well. She wanted me to put a set on her. We have about a month left of our trip, like almost to the day. We have about a month left. We have some really cool things to do when we get back to the States. We get to reunite with Milo. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am all done. This set is so nice. It's actually really natural. Good
morning. I finished my, oh, here, let's pretend.
Good morning.
Cheers. Good morning. Woohoo.
Guys, it's the next day. We are headed back to my parents' house. I didn't end up filming with my mom last night because by the time we got there, it was dark.
Because they live like a year away from
literally
where we're
so
staying,
far away. We cooked dinner, we played a board game, but we are going back there today because Gabe has a business call with my dad and some other people, so they're taking the call together. I'm sure you guys can guess what it's for if
you didn't
put
just
2 and 2 together.
Put 2 and 2 together of what was just said and what was just said before that. You guys like my new hat? Miami Heat? Let's go, baby. Gotta rep the freaking hometown.
Okay, I need your orders. Lactose-free latte.
Yes, please. Tall.
Lactose-free latte. Small.
Tall.
Tall.
1515, let's grab on there.
Thank you.
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah.
Lol.
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 Woohoo! Alright, let's start with a clink clink. Let's have a drink. I'm joined with my mum. This is Queen Janine. So I'm going to be asking you questions that girls are too afraid to ask their mums. Now, mum has a lot of experience in mothering. Your old job
Boarding house mum.
was a boarding house mum, so she really was that motherly figure to a lot of girls, weren't you?
Yep.
I think these are going to be good.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I'll start with a really easy one.
Okay.
This is more a question about you. What made you fall in love with Jess's dad?
Oh. So at the very beginning we bumped into each other and it was love at first sight.
In a shopping centre they bumped into each other?
And Dad was running late with his keyboard under one arm and a speaker in the other, and when I had spun around and we just literally collided.
So
he went and set up his music and my friend knew him and she introduced me to him, and so every day I would go out and talk to him and he would play me songs and ask me did I have a request, and I'd always say something slow and romantic. I thought he was handsome, he was gorgeous. And then his music just topped it off.
Do you remember your first kiss? Person, the story, etc. Do you remember anything about your first kiss?
On my original first kiss?
Yeah, your very first. Your very
oh my
first.
gosh, I'm pretty old, you know.
You don't remember? Do you remember who it was with? You don't remember your first kiss?
I think it was a boy at church.
Oh. What were you going to name me if I was a boy?
I'm pretty sure it was Benjamin.
Yeah, I thought it was Benjamin
Yeah,
too.
because I always loved Benjamin as a name.
So was the name Toby not in the picture back then?
Toby actually became an imaginary character in your bedtime stories with you and Sarah. So Dad would always bring Toby, and he explained to me how he loved this Toby character in this book. Toby was always naughty in your bedtime stories, and he just become part of the family. So Dad always said if we have a son, he has to be called Toby.
Are you going all right?
I'm going good.
What's the most rebellious thing you did growing up?
Oh my gosh. Probably smoke cigarette butts in the back of the house.
Oh my god.
I used to pinch my parents' cigarette butts and take them down the back of the house and smoke them.
Ew. They didn't know?
Oh, they eventually found out. Someone dobbed me in, but they told Nana, right? So my mum, she threatened me all day that she was going to tell my dad, Pop. I was scared because it wasn't just me, it was my younger sister as well. We both were smoking cigarette butts down the back. She threatened me all day, and in the end, I was sweating it all day, knowing that I would get in big trouble. But in the end, she never told him.
No way.
No, I think we told him years later.
Oh, okay. I'm like, is he going to find out now?
I never become a smoker.
Yeah.
I think smoking cigarette butts probably turns you off. They smoked most of the cigarette, and that's just a little bit that's left.
That's so
I know, it's disgusting.
How old were you?
Oh my gosh, I think I was only about 12.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember when I was conceived?
Oh my gosh.
I actually got that a couple times. Like people would like to ask their parents.
Well, no, because when you're trying to have a baby, there's so many times you don't pinpoint which day it was.
Well, that's what I expected.
But
okay,
no.
good. Whew. What advice would you give a first-time mum, sentimental and realistic, lol, currently 6 weeks and 5 days?
Oh, wow. Just treasure every moment from your conception right through your pregnancy. Treasure every movement, every feeling. Actually, the 9 months goes really quickly, but it's the best feeling, having a baby inside you growing. Hint, hint.
All right.
And then as a mum, when they're born, keep as many memories as you can, because they grow up, they leave you.
Cut!
I probably wish I had written down more. You know how you love to journal, like use that as a memory book to go back and say how you felt in certain times, and the first time the baby moves and the first time the baby kicks.
How do you make your marriage last? I'm just married and need all the advice.
Treasure, your partner every single day. Never go to bed angry at each other.
That's hard.
I know it's hard, but if you can try and sort it out before you go to bed, if you've had a bit of an argument, Dad and I hardly ever argue, so we're really blessed.
Ask your mum if she has anything she regrets not doing. Maybe it's something some of us could add to our bucket list.
I don't know whether I do. I wish I had travelled more as a younger person. Maybe before Dad, but I never got that opportunity. I've always said to you kids, go and explore before you have children, but I don't regret having our kids when we had them, because we were at a really good age. But I don't have any regrets of what I did or didn't do.
You're not like, oh, I wish I went skydiving.
No, never.
You sure?
100%.
What do you think are red flags in a romantic partner, so we know what to watch out for?
Someone who's not willing to help you, whether it be around the home, with the children. I think in your heart if that individual is not devoting their life to you and your time together, in your heart that that's not the right person for you. Both you and I found our partners, and we just knew in our hearts that they were right from the very first day. Down the track, we're both so happy. And with Sarah and Luke.
I don't know if people watching will know, but my parents' timeline was they met.
So we met in the December. We started going out in the January, and we had a surprise wedding in the May at our engagement party.
When did Dad propose?
Oh, he proposed like literally probably a month after. It was crazy.
That's quicker than Jess and Gabriel timing.
I know, and he actually lived in Brisbane and I lived in Kingaroy, and he would drive home in the middle of the night and tap on my window and wake me up just so he could see me. And he did that for 4 weeks, and then he got a job back in Kingaroy
You guys did long distance too.
for a whole 4 weeks.
Wouldn't he like write you poems or something?
He did. He wrote me a song.
And he would leave, like when he was leaving town, he would leave you a poem.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Have you ever been disappointed in me?
In you? I don't think so. Even at that time when you were so afraid to tell us you had dropped out of college.
Surely you were disappointed in me.
No, I wasn't. Like, I felt sad that you took so much time to come to us because we've always been very open with our children. So I was probably more sad that you felt you couldn't come to me and tell me about it.
I don't even know why. Like, that just seems like such a different person.
I know, it's really
just, like,
weird. I'm proud of all of you and what you do as a creator. You're amazing. Like, I'm in awe of you. Obviously, you're #1 fan and watch your videos every time as soon as they come out.
She does. She watches every week.
I do, because it makes me feel closer to you because you're so far away.
Does it hurt your first time?
Oh!
How uncomfortable was it really? This person said that it scares them.
As it was a very, very long time ago. My memories are very faded, but I don't remember it hurting the first time.
Well, see, you're struggling to remember your first kiss, so I don't know if you remember this. How many people you dated in general? How many people have you dated?
Oh.
Did you date a lot in high school?
No. I think I had 1, 2... I've probably had about a half a dozen.
Half a dozen?
But, I mean, a lot of those were
Just like little...
Yeah, youth group boyfriends.
Youth group. What was the most terrifying thing about going into motherhood?
I was never terrified, I don't think, because I had grown up in a big family. So I had babysitted a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
I was so excited about having my own child. I remember when I was pregnant with Sarah, my hindwaters broke, so I actually got flown to the hospital, and that was like 10 weeks before she was due to be born. That was terrifying, but I was never terrified about becoming a mother. You learn things, new things all the time, and even us in our 50s, we're still learning things. It's funny, even our children can teach us things. I look at you and Gabe and what you have done, and I look at Sarah and Luke and what they've done, and I think, oh gee, I could take a leaf out of their book.
Aww.
And you know, the way you eat so healthy and like, it just amazes me. Like, you guys make really good decisions.
What are your tips on shaving down there?
Oh.
I love how you're not like, you're just like, oh, okay.
Shaving makes you itchy.
Yeah.
And you can get like red blotchy bits, and I actually did that.
Laser.
Yes. Best thing since sliced bread. I only have to shave very, very rarely, but it all comes through grey anyway because I'm so old. But not much comes through because I've lasered.
And did laser hurt?
Like, it sort of did. But, and you got to go through processes like so many weeks. And it's not cheap. I wish I had done it a long time ago.
You did it all over?
Yeah.
All over?
Brazilian.
Oh, Brazilian?
Brazilian.
Not your legs and
Oh,
your
no.
arm. It just...
I'd like to get my legs done next, but I did under my arm and my
Oh, you
Brazilian.
did. So that's your tip is...
That's my tip.
Save up for laser.
Yep.
This might be a weird question, haha, but what is labor like? People always talk about pregnancy, but they never mention what it's actually like to go through the birthing process, so it'd be cool to hear about her experience.
So I, because Sarah caused me a lot of grief at 30 weeks when I was
She still
flown
does? No.
to Toowoomba Hospital, I had a lot of issues with preeclampsia, and I had sugar in the urine and high blood pressure, and we lived in a small country town. So the doctor suggested I have a cesarean at 38 weeks. So because of all the issues leading up to it, it was the safest thing to do. And then because we still lived in the country town when you were born, they said to me I could opt to do a natural birth if I wanted to, but there was always a risk of the scar splitting.
Oh.
And as soon as they said that, I was like, thank
Yeah.
you. And then Toby also, because we still lived in Kingaroy, so 3 Caesars. I have a nice big long scar, and that's my memory of my childbirth. So they put a needle in my spine.
What I'm most afraid of.
An epidural. It was very scary at the time, but it's amazing how it actually deadens from, you know, your waist down. When they cut, it just feels like you're rubbing your fingernail across the your hand. So that's all.
It.
That's all you feel. And then when they're pulling the baby out, like you can feel the tugging, which is really weird. But then when they lift the baby out and the baby starts crying, like you're laying there awake watching this whole thing, and Dad was sitting right next to me watching everything, and he would stand up and he'd watch them lift you kids out. I did experience contractions.
You did? I was going to ask you.
Yeah, only at that 30-week mark when I was in Toowoomba, I actually was having a slight contraction.
And does it feel like really harsh period pain?
It's really weird. It goes your whole stomach goes hard like a ball. But yes, you have that sort of period pain feeling as well. With a Caesar, you normally go in 2 weeks before you due. So
technically I was 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
That was meant to be an August baby.
Mm.
Wow. When your daughter gets married, do you feel like a man is ever enough for them, or do you always feel like that they deserve better?
Well, I've been really blessed with my 2 daughters' partners. When your daughters first meet somebody, you always think, oh my gosh, I hope they treat our daughter right. When we first met Gabe, we were like...
Were you nervous?
Of course, but I mean, you had told me so much about him, and we'd spoken on FaceTime and met him, until he's actually in your home and you actually get to know him and talk to him and know what he's like. You just don't know. But as a parent, you always get the feeling in your heart if you know that they're right for your child. We felt so at ease with Gabe and feel really lucky that our girls have found beautiful men.
Beautiful men.
Beautiful men, lifelong partners.
I think you set a good example.
Aww.
You set our standards high.
That's so sweet. Doesn't matter how old you are, we're always protective of you.
Mm-hmm.
All of our kids will always protect them no matter what. And it's even in your work and your business, when people are nasty to you on your comments, and you had to tell me to stop reading them because
I did.
How much it hurt.
I'm the same. If I see something about Gabe or about a friend, you feel so protective, like you want to stick up for that person.
Yeah, I know, because we know the real you and we know what you're like. They don't know the real you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, the real you is what you put out there online, because you are what they see. They don't believe it, and I don't understand why. I know my daughter and I know what she's like.
What has been your favourite part of being a mum, and what has been the hardest?
My favourite part is watching my kids grow up.
That's your favourite part, is watching them grow up? I'm going to be sad watching my kids grow up.
No, as adults, what they turn into. And probably my hardest was watching you leave to go to America. It still makes me sad. One of the hardest parts with you is watching you get bullied. And that's such a big thing. You weren't even little, you're in high school. Mm-hmm. Knowing that kids were hurting you for no reason at all. And, you know, I know your heart and I know what you're like. And I just thought, how dare these kids?
What about teenage hormones?
Oh my gosh.
Was that hard?
Well, you were pretty good, except you're a bit moody. Where Sarah was the opposite end of the scale, and she used to yell at me all the time.
Sarah was mean, but she's not now.
Oh no, Sarah and I are really close. That's so funny that she was so horrible to me.
We can laugh about it now. That's all my questions.
Wow.
You did so well.
Thanks.
I just got back to my parents' house. Gabe and I are going to head back now. My mum is so cute. Wasn't that just the cutest thing ever? She's just so cute and loves us so much. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really fun. It's 4:30 p.m. so it's probably going to take us an hour to drive back to our Airbnb. In our apartment building there's a pool and a hot tub, so I think it'll be really nice to go back, go in the hot tub for a little bit. I have a work call at 10 p.m. tonight. I had one at 10:30 last night. I have one at 10 tonight. Just with the time differences, it's either taking a call late at night or like really early in the morning. I think maybe hop in the hot tub could be nice.
Oh yes, 100%.
Have some dinner, maybe watch a Blacklist. Like I need to keep myself doing stuff before my 10 o'clock call. All right, we're gonna head home and have a nice Friday night.